Hey guys, what's up? It's your course director, Emily. Just wanted to go through the sites that you submitted recently and just offer a little bit of insight and feedback on what I'm seeing as maybe opportunities to help evolve your site to its next best place. So certainly the opportunity here would be to, listen to any feedback given and kind of fold that into what you know about your objectives, aims, and ambitions for yourself and for this site, and take what feels relevant and productive and do the next best iteration of this portfolio website prior to getting into your next portfolio class. So certainly don't wait to make these changes. You never know when the next opportunity is going to come up, and you're going to need some place to show your work. So we're going to start here with expanding the culture. This is Elijah. And so you let us know right off the bat a movement to inspire and develop creative visions that change communities worldwide. I dig the like the brand itself, expanding the culture. I like the aesthetic of this logo quite a bit. It's not as easy to read, right? Like, so I kind of have to concentrate on the words here. Wondering, if maybe, as a graphic, you can use this, supplementary in places, but this part here may be used as like the main brand, and then, have just something that's a little bit more easily read in text here that says expanding the culture. I don't want people to miss that because it is such an important part of what you do here. So we have community service, art, technology, music. When you underline things on a website, it makes it look like it's a link, right? So this just kind of is like maybe talks about what you do or some areas that you are expanding culture, but like from a usability perspective, I'm thinking this is a link, but it's not. Same thing for this here. So rule of thumb would be don't underline it if it's not a link. So we have home, media shop, and contact us. Cities we've reached so far. So this kind of like just talks about the different cultures and things that you've reached. But like from this perspective or from this snapshot, I still don't know that much about what you guys do. So like this doesn't impact me as much because I'm not clear on what it is yet, right? Like I can't be impressed by all of these countries yet because I'm not sure like what I am impressed by yet, right? So move some of this stuff that's down here up a little bit higher on the page, so I can get a sense of what you're talking about, right? So I can get a sense of like what has been going into all of those different cities or countries worldwide. So we've got videos here, okay? But I'm just gonna, like, this one's called Untitled. This one does have a title, Expanding the Culture. So I'm gonna click on this, and I'm gonna go ahead and hit play video. So it's gonna play. It's gonna tell me a little bit more about like what you're up to, what you've got going on. But what I'd like to see in this section is we've got the title, but like give me more of a description. And specifically for you, Elijah, like if this collaboration is producing all of this content together, like who did what role, and like what equipment did you guys use, and like are you guys doing this for other brands or for other artists, just kind of highlighting not just the final product, which is what we see here, but all of the steps that go into that. So showing the value of partnering with this brand or with this organization and what that means in terms of future collaboration possibilities. And I'd like to see that for each one of these videos. So here it looks like we've got some merch and things that you could buy. Meet the team. So these are some folks that are involved, and everything that you guys kind of do for the brand, which is cool. A lot of people, right? A lot of hands and hearts going into this. So all this looks great. It looks like a huge collaboration, and no shortage of talent helping you guys do your thing. Media Center. Let's see where this takes me. So music, photography, video, art, and design. When I click on music, Okay, nothing. Okay, there it goes. So these are some of the recording artists that you're working with, producers that you're working with. So these things are linked, right? So you see how that can be confusing, right? Like on the other page, there were things that were underlined that were not linked, and then now we have this. If I click on this, it's going to open up a blank page, a new page, and then we've got like the artist there, and it looks like we've got some embedding to do here. So it's as if you're like in, it looks like the SoundCloud is going to pop in. There we go. And Apple Music. So this is where you're featuring, the folks that are part of this collective. Just notice how many clicks it took me to get there, right? And then how long when you're kind of embedding content from other sites, how long it takes to load in. Thinking about, on the home page, instead of having all of the contributors, right, the collaborators, maybe some of the artists, right, like 3 featured projects that then feed into what we see here, right, at the media center. So a featured music project, a featured photography, and featured art and design, just to showcase more of like what it is that you guys are doing, not just who you are or who the identities are involved. So for shop, things that we can buy. So, I mean, all this cool stuff. Looks like you need to get more printed because there's a lot of demand. So cool, right? Like that's functional. And then contact us is just a simple form. But like, who should contact you, right? And why? Like, why do you want people to contact you? Do you want collaborators, or do you want people that you're going to promote? So just get, if you can, clear on what is the call to action here. Who are you trying to attract with this site, and how is it that you're trying to build off the brand? So we've got our social media down here. I can see that all that stuff is linking out to the other places where you want to connect with people. I'm going to give you guys a follow up there. So this has so much potential. Happy to see where it is right now. You're so early in the program, and you can really devote a lot of your time and the things that you're learning in your classes to really building this out quite a bit. Let me know if you have any questions. And here we have Kevin, so social media correspondent, a great picture. And then we've got your experiences here. So you talk about like 3 different cool things that you were involved, and you contextualize it, right? You just don't say what, that you did this thing, but you give a little bit more background information, which is really helpful. I find that these sliders on Wix are not that intuitive. I don't know that I would look over here and think that I could advance this. So just something to think about. Instead of me having to slide this, like with web pages, you can infinitely scroll. So in case like I miss something here, would it be better to ensure that I see it by stacking it when I scroll? So all of this stuff is linked. That's great. And give you a follow. Back here, because websites have the ability to scroll, you could organize this information and maybe put links up here, like anchors, that when you select it, it would drop you down to this, specific portion of the site. Click here to see the resumes. So we've got the PDF. So all that is looking great. One thing I want you to make sure that you're doing is that anytime you're sharing a resume, you're not doing it as a picture of words, meaning a screenshot of this. Because I can select this text, it means that it is able to be indexed by search engines, which is what you want so that people can find you when they search for terms associated with your skill set and with your name. So here it looks like we have some featured projects, so we have logos and maybe some things that you've designed, which are cool, right? And then here's a blog, that you've helped with and contributed to. But so up here you talk about being a social media correspondent, and I'm not sure how these things play into that, right? So my recommendation for you would be, if this is what you want to move forward in terms of your professional work, professional identity, then you need to include projects or case studies that show your impact in that area in the work that you're doing. I know that you just got on with Universal, so there's like plenty of opportunity for that on its way. But you're early enough in the program to you're far enough along in the program to have some idea maybe of what you want to do. It sounds like social media. And you're early enough in the program to identify what skills you need to develop and promote to showcase your, your credibility in that space. And so certainly this could be built out showing more social media work, impact, management, strategy, that sort of thing. And then just a simple contact me. This is all functional, but moving forward, like if you want to use this site for freelance, you might be thinking about a call to action or providing some sort of information about the services that you provide and how someone could engage those services. What information would you need from them, in order to know whether or not it was a project that you could or should work on with somebody. So again, if you guys have any questions about this feedback, please let me know. Otherwise, the expectation is that a revision of this will be done before your next portfolio class. Thanks, guys.